2 kan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Siapa lagi Tan? 2 more. Missing 2 more. Haris. 1 more. Haris sudah buat. I thought he needs me to help him as secretary. Siapa? And 1 more. Siapa yang tak masuk lagi?
Crane.
Okay, I put for Crane lah. Tak apa. Okay, all 8 is there. Everybody here already? Crane, you ada tak? Crane AFK lah.
Crane.
Ada.
Okay. No worries.
Radio, jangan pakai radio.
Everybody put radio 100 for in case later tak dengar aku guna radio, so everyone can listen. 100.
Okay. Control P. Control Papa.
Oh, those who don't know.
Okay, lepas tu.
Okay, wait later. Control P.
Lepas tu kau tengok dekat dalam screen tu ada C1, lepas tu ada nombor belakang tu. Kau select semua nombor belakang tu, lepas tu kau type 100. Lepas tu kau tekan butang enter dekat baris kedua paling kanan. Set frequency nama dia.
ENT.
Tu je.
Alright, thanks.
No problem bro. Just take AC lepas ni.
Okay, everybody on? Okay, first of all, just thank you, Salam Sejahtera. Thank you for coming ARMA Malaysia. Today we will be covering 2 topics. One is basic navigation. Using basic means just your compass, your visual reference, and your map. Map tools also termasuk, and how to read the map and all the contours. Next, if the next topic we're going to cover, it would be the casualty recovery. Basic casualty recovery. We will just make sure that you know how to use the ACE interaction and how to drag and carry persons that is down. Obviously, there's certain SOP before you go and recover the the casualty. We will cover that later. So today, just let me good evening. So my name is Gadget, and I would be here to be helping you guys out on a few basic stuff. In just for me to understand siapa. I know Haris is here, Tengku sudah tahu, Mansun is considered also quite new. Okay, who here feels that they already can help me as someone of like a co-instructor on how to read maps and all that? Can you group only just come to my my website where Haris is standing? I know Haris can already, so everyone there.
So what?
Those that really feel that they already know, so that I won't treat you like a student in a way. It's more like already tahu how to read the map, contours, everything. 100% sudah tahu. Go to where Haris standing. Okay, so the rest all considered as students and needing to get some information on this lah. Boleh. Thank you, Haris Tengku. Okay, what we'll do right now is that this will be the bootcamp. I think this is the first time I'm doing an official training on this bootcamp. For when you go out next later, just click and save all the mods that is in here into a playlist. You know how to do that, right? So use and then you type it as ARMA Malaysia Bootcamp ke apa. So next time when we do a lot more, when we do AT training, when we do mortar training, or even to like formation training and a whole bunch of other trainings, when this map is 100% fully optimized, we'll be using this more often on a regular basis as a training ground for ARMA Malaysia, so that when you put into your playlist, you next time just need to just go in the playlist, tak payah tengok I don't have to list the mods and all that. It'll be quite basic already, so you can get all the mods required and you can masuk terus. Today, first topic we will do is we will talk about the basic navigation. Now, for basic navigation, I have attached a Word document into the event page. For those who didn't check out the documentation after the training, I suggest you take it out. It's a Word format. Save it into a folder for you for next time if you want to refer to it. It's also quite useful. It's contour reading and also to tell you some of the words that we use to describe key features or key terrains and visual apa tu features that we will talk about things like, you know, the what is a summit, what is a saddle, what is a valley, and all that. So that Word document is very useful. Use it, and you can refer to it. So now, someone told me that that building, who opened the door? Tak ada kan? Someone told me that thing is haunted. Someone that they tested it, the doors were opened by itself. One. Anyways, okay, it happened. Oh well. Anyways, okay. To start off, who saw the documentation? Someone, can I consider everyone, or someone who missed out the documentation, the Word document that I've attached? Anyone who haven't seen it? Oh, so everyone saw it. Okay, good. Then what I'll tell you is this. I will start off with, I will describe it, because right now that, oh, better still lah, since I use, go back to where your names are in the map, okay? I will draw a box. This one is Haris Munista, which is quite useful. I will draw a box as a scratch pad. Okay, everyone see a square black box?
Yep.
Okay, there will be the
Yes,
scratch pad will be there. I'll be putting all kinds of scratch pads there. So okay, first of all, in that documents, you know that there is a picture of a fist, right? That fist is quite an interesting. I tend to like to, instead of use a fist, to describe it, I like to use it as a, you punya palm, right? Your hand, let's say your right hand, you make a cup of your hand and then you place it on the table. So your, like you put the palm straight, or you jangan buat fist, you buka you punya palm, tapi you punya palm where the knuckles you naik sikit macam tu, like a cup, and you put it on the table. That is one way to understand terrain. For one, I think what I'll cover is that what is a ridge. And a ridge, sometimes you will say what is good is because sometimes when we have to direct you, or even not to say navigation, but sometimes we will spot enemies, and we will cry out, say, okay, we have a two contacts or two hostiles up on the ridge on northwest. What is a ridge? So if you don't know what a ridge is, a ridge is if you put your hands on the table like a cup, you notice all your knuckles. There's like 4 knuckles over there. So between the 4 knuckles, the knife on the tip of one knuckle of your index finger then comes down and goes up to your middle finger knuckle, and then comes down to the second last and down to your pinky knuckle. That whole line across the knuckles, that is called a ridge. So in other words, if you look at the scratch pad, right, you see that line, naik turun, that whole line, if you're facing it, that whole line is called a ridge. Okay, so everyone know what is a ridge now. So it's a terrain feature that if you look at a place, that's why sometimes we don't want to be standing in that ridge and skylining as a soldier, so that in terms of like enemy that can see you, you are literally sticking out like a sore thumb like that on the ridge, that you just stick out like that. That is called skylining. So that is a ridge. Okay. Now, other than a ridge, you would have a summit. What is a summit? Is the tip of any hill or any mountain or whatever. It's a very sharp tip. All right. So if you look at that, if it's a tip like this, the circle is a summit. Now, if you have a mountain that is almost like that, then I'm not sure. I don't think this is called a summit. All right. I don't think that's a summit. But the summit literally is this one. Okay, that is the summit. Okay, summit, of course there are other meanings. One is a collection of all the world leaders into one area, that's called a summit also lah. But literally, if you look what the summit is, it's the tip of any mountain. All right, now you have a summit. There is another thing called a saddle. Okay, a saddle is what Haris is pointing, right? This is a saddle. It's between two summits. Ada dua summit. It comes down and go up. This is called a saddle. All right. Now, anything that goes up and down, there's two saddles here. One here and one here. There's two saddles. So that's called a saddle. Now, this is the easy part to understand. Later on, I go to the map contours. I'll tell you how to find a saddle. Now, a valley is literally in between two high points. That okay, it's in between two high points, but it stretches out very long. It's not so. This is just like this is called a valley, but the valley is not just like 2 points. It actually has a few mountains. That the valley is panjang. Okay. So you have a lot of mountains. Okay, and that is a valley. Most of the time, valleys usually you see sungai also lah, because that's where sungai will be most likely be in most of the time is valley. Of course, when it's dry and all that, you have wadis and all that. Those are what you call a valley. Okay.
Complete silent deliver ni.
No, I go delete. That's why. Okay. Okay, to this point, any questions on the names of the terrain features that I just mentioned? Ada apa yang you pernah dengar, you tak tahu ke, that you want to highlight so that we can at least give you an idea what it means?
Ken, a question. What do you call like a relative slope downwards? Let's say you're in one location and you just want to say that we want to go down this hill. So what is that? What is the term for that?
The term for that is called a gentle slope. If it's a slight slope, it's not like, you know, like a cliff. Later we'll show you how a cliff looks like. A cliff means it's like almost like a straight drop, like everyone knows a cliff. But if you're going down a hill and it's the incline is like maybe about 20-30 degrees kind of incline. If you're going down, you call it a gentle slope. Even going up, you call it going up the gentle slope towards the summit at 4045. Get what I mean? So that's called a gentle slope. Or you can, or you can just call it a slope lah. But if just to be more specific, you call it a gentle slope. Why? Because when you call a gentle slope in the map, you can at least identify what a gentle slope is. I'll show you, because the contours will spread out further. The contour lines will spread out further, and then you will know that's a gentle slope.
I mean to say it's more of a passable terrain as opposed to like a very steep one.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Okay. Then there will, you usually use the term elevation. So the antonym to that is, would you say depression? Is that how people relate to it?
One moment, just give me 1 second. Sorry, I was just talking to Jen for a while. Okay, you were saying the question. My bad.
Okay, so I drew something on the scratch pad.
Okay.
And this is the relative location of where we are, and it's just terminology lah, because I want to identify to people so that everybody's on the same page. If I say elevation, it will be this kind. What would say, like, if it's a slope going downwards? Would you say it's a depression, or is there another term for it?
It's a inclination. Incline is a depression. Incline is going up, and going down is a what you call this? That's an incline, and then down there is more of depression. One moment, So you said that's a down. Well, in other words, if you really want to go into the most basic one, just say go downhill. You don't have to say anything, or go uphill. Very simple, right? Downhill, uphill. But if you want to talk about elevation itself, elevation is the height of where you are standing versus the sea level. So sometimes your elevation is 35 meters. The MSL, that is 35 meters sea level. So that's what elevation means. It doesn't mean it doesn't explain the terrain features. So let's say where you are standing right now, if you want to go up that incline, you can just say let's go up this incline, or you say let's go uphill and go downhill. Make it simple. All right. Any questions else?
Right.
Okay. If everyone no questions, let's start looking at maps and understanding some of the contour on the maps. Now, you zoom out your map and go to the tip, the northeast tip of Altis. You will see one area called navigation area. All right, you see that? LZ black, and then navigation area. I chose that place. Later on we can just teleport there and then we can do some quick exercise or some understanding. But why I choose that, you see there's a good area other than the northwest side also is quite interesting, but this northeast area, there's quite a lot of terrain features here, and it's not so flat as what it is, and it gives you a bit of variety to explain what it is. So now for for this kind of terrains in the map, if you notice, if you scroll out and scroll in, right, on the bottom right side, there's a what it calls a contour intervals of 5 meters, and then you have elevation in meters, and then of course the most important thing is that the distance between one end to another end is how many meters. If you zoom really out, the number gets bigger, because obviously you'll be seeing 500 meters from that end to that end. But if you go in really zoom in really close, it goes up to 100 meters. Right? To go into 100 meters, you can further zoom into 50 meters. But let's zoom it to the point where you see 100 meters. Okay,
meters.
100 meters, 100 meters. Zoom into the point where the contour intervals you see 100 meters. All right. Now
there's six levels of 100 meters.
Just go to the one right before going to 200 meters.
Okay.
Okay. Just go right to the one before going to 200 meters. At that point, okay, what I want to tell you about map reading is this. Map reading has grids. Now the grids are interesting because it usually starts what they call an easting and then a northing. So east north, just remember easting, northing, easting, northing, easting, northing. So that one, what it means, it just drills into your easting, northing, means you start looking at the numbers of the grid from your west to east. That means easting. So you see the numbers from your west, from let's say you see a number that says 200 and 210. The top line has numbers on it. That one going from left to right is called easting. Then you got 210, 211, 212, 214. Those are your grid for your easting. And then northing is from your south to north, means from bottom to up on the numbers on the either side, the left side or the right side of your map. You will see numbers 222, 23, 223, 224, and so on, going upwards. So that means easting is left to right, bottom to top. That's how you read your grid anytime. So if you want to say a grid, don't go bottom up the number and then write it is wrong. You start with, let's say I want to give a grid at this point here.
Here, where?
Here, a little dot I put here. You see it?
Okay.
Okay. Now, if I put a dot there and you want to say a grid, so what grid is that? You will start the grid by reading the top end here, which is 2233, and then you come down here and you see it's 224. So the grid actually is 233, 224, not the other way around. So read this way first and then this way. So that's how you give a grid. The grid here, it shows every square here. Every single square here is 100 meters. Okay. So if you want to see from here all the way to navigation area, it should be about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, slightly up. If it's slightly up, it's slightly longer. So it's about 9.5, that means 950 meters or so. It should be around there. All right. But if let's say you want to go from here to here, right? So easily it's a straight line. You will know how far it is by looking at the boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 700 meters. So between this and this is 700 meters. If you scroll your map all the way out, the boxes will become bigger boxes into, if you scroll all the way up, you suddenly see six, how many, about eight, 9 boxes there. So, so when you scroll all the way up, you see one big box here. That is 10 kilometers per square. It means this whole entire thing is 10 kilometers from left to right and 10 kilometers from north to south. So this is 10 kilometers. Go into it, you count the smaller boxes, you will count 10 boxes in there. Okay? Any questions so far? Okay.
Good.
Zoom back to where it's 100 meters again. Alright. Now, from here, now that you know your grid readings and all that, I would drag your compass that you see floating around. Alright, there's a compass right now. You can left click on compass, bring it anywhere you want. Okay, I don't think you can see my compass, but in your compass you will see the cover opening. Okay, you will see the north, west, east, south, the radial, and then you will see the penutup, the cover, right? That cover, wherever it's pointing, it's actually telling you, if you put it on a map, right, it will tell you where you are looking at. Now let's say if everybody now just come out from the map, everybody look to the ARMA Malaysia, at the end of the ARMA Malaysia billboard, which is north.
Press K.
Right? Press K. Okay, press K when you're outside to get your compass. Alright. The compass has a little thin wire on top of it. You see the cover. The cover has a wire, the little line that sticks right from a vertical position. If you use that wire, it tells you your exact position that you're looking at. Then that will be your where your compass will be pointing. So let's say you look at the flagpole. All right, you put the wire exactly where the flagpole is, and then you look at your compass. That will be your really accurate bearings of against the compass. So sometimes for far distance, very far distance, you use this wire to get a very good point of what the the radials are, or the bearings are. Okay, so now let's say if you point at the billboard, okay, then stay looking at the billboard, go back to your map. You will look at you notice that the compass is now suddenly facing up north already, or slightly off north lah. This is very helpful, because now that you know you're facing there, you can drag your compass anywhere in the map. Okay, and let's say you put it into you drag your map to where the navigation area here. You drag the compass right over there. Okay, so now let's say you're standing at navigation area. You know you're facing up north, and then you get off your map. You know that is north, but that means if you want to face wherever you want to face, you face, let's say, west. Okay, face west, and then go back in your map. See how your compass change. Okay, so that one actually tells you where you are facing, and it helps a lot sometimes for navigation, so that you know that let's say, okay, right now it's facing west, but let's say you want to, let me put a different color, let me put red, blue, let's see, put red lah. Okay, let's say you need to go to this area that I'm putting objective, let's say here. Okay, one moment. Okay, you see a little red square somewhere around southwest. You see this one, right? Okay. Assuming that now you look at the map, you know you're facing west, and let's say you need to face that red cross pangkar there, and assuming, right? Okay, go out of the map. Let's say you tak the compass, you tak bawa compass, you are naked, you're just wearing your clothes only. Okay, but at least the map has that compass regardless. So now you face slowly to your left, face without using your compass, face slowly, and then open your map again. Oh, I surpass, move back again, open your map, adjust sikit. Now I know where I'm facing already. Get what I mean?
Yes.
So you adjust sikit, buka map, tutup map, buka map, tutup map. you know where you're facing, and then from here you know that if you go this direction, you will hit, just jalan terus je, you will know where you will probably hit the what you call that pangkat X already. And now you know bearings, and now you know where you're supposed to face. What you don't know yet is how far you need to walk. So now with the map you can count, like you take the compass away from navigation area, you count 1 2 3 4 5. Let's say this is about 1 2 3, about 400 plus meters lah, 400 plus meters. So now you know you need to go 400 meters this direction. The interesting part about it is this is for knowledge purposes. In fact, in real life navigation they do this also. Kalau you pergi camping ke, or you go for navigation course or survival course ke apa, let's say you have you are in a survival, it's called SERE, SERE. It is a survival escape. What else? Aris, what SERE means? SERE, escape, survive, something like that.
And then
evasion, yes. So if let's say that the people who go through SERE training, that means literally you are in your underwear only, nothing left. So you navigate the skies, you know where you're supposed to go. Okay, for real training, in ARMA purposes, if you are walking on a walking pace, right? And this one sometimes what it is also is for training during boot camps and training. What you call it? Okay, no worries, Tengku. You can bring your kid also. We can teach him how to find the way to the kitchen. If you need to, let's say, totally, it's also for point man. Usually sometimes you have a compass man, a point man. In Vietnam you have a point man because that person will be the guy with the compass and a map. He will walk. Today's time, modern times, everybody has GPS. You don't really need a point man. But let's say you go back to games where we play Vietnam, World War II, you have a point man. A point man's duty is literally to navigate and bring the whole team to where he needs to go. Alright, to be a point man, you know this direction. If you were to go 100 meters in front in ARMA, if you're walking, when you're walking, you just count 100 steps. You will hit 100 meters. That means when you jalan on a walking pace, you know that tok 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 tok. You jalan kan, you count 100 toks lah. That means 100 steps lah. That is 100 meters. If you are jogging, it shortens. It becomes 80 steps lah. And if you're really sprinting, it becomes 60. So this one you can note it if you want to. On a walking pace, 100. That means you count 100 steps, you would have hit 100 meters already. So in real life, what they do is they will pick up stones or little pebbles into their hands, and every time they walk 100 steps, or they will count how many. In real life it's not 100 steps lah. In real life it depends you berapa tinggi ke berapa, but let's say for ARMA everybody's standard. All ARMA ARMA personnel here is 1.8 meters tall, and then the steps and all that is all standardized. But in real life what they do is that they would have known 100 meters for their personal thing, berapa steps they have to take. Usually what they do is they take pebbles, they reach 100, they drop one stone, and they will take 10 stones. Then every 100 meters they drop one stone, every 200 meters they drop one stone. At the time they reach a certain point, they look at their hands. If let's say they carry 10 stones, they have dropped 9, they got one more left in your hand, that means they have reached 900 meters already. That's how real life people do the navigation also. So for ARMA, you want to be point man, and in some missions where you don't have you only have a compass but you don't have GPS, that's how you do. Any questions so far?
Nope.
Okay, face the center again, into the circle. Okay, now you know how to figure out really basic steps, distance, bearing, how to use the compass. Let's look at contours. Open your map, go back up there. And just now I was talking about summits. Summit is the easiest. Every number that you see around here tells you an elevation of MSL, meaning how many meters above sea level. The higher the number, obviously the taller the peak is. Okay, so here there's a whole bunch of numbers. I would say the tallest one here around this area would be, yes, 121. So this is the tallest summit. Okay, the tallest summit is this one. So who can tell me what between a summit? Okay, now you have a summit. Who can tell me what is a ridge? Can you see a ridge around here? Nope. Anyone can point a ridge? That's a summit. Okay, there's plenty of summits. There's one here. There's one here. There's one here.
This one?
Yeah, that's actually a small ridge. Yes, you have a ridge here. Correct. It's up from down 70, you night sometimes 98, then turun balik and then go back up again to to 81, and you go back down. This one, it's a very big ridge. Yes, you can consider this as a ridge, but to see this ridge, you have to be very far away.
Far away.
So let's say you're standing at this place here. Okay, 50 sini. Okay, so from here you can see actually this ridge up, come down, and maybe if you're lucky you can go back up here. So this is actually a very small ridge. All right. Now what's a saddle?
Between here.
Yes. So that's the saddle. Naik, turun, up there. That's a saddle. Okay. So when you see contours like that, you will know. Okay, let's move to that saddle. Let's move to this ridge or whatever it is. Okay. Zoom out a little bit. Who can tell me what's a cliff? Cliff means, you know lah, it's like a from a tall position and it goes really a slope that is almost straight down. What's a cliff? Actually, cliff is actually the easiest to find. That's one way. That's one very strong cliff. Yes. Lagi? Any more cliffs you see? What about the rest? Yes. There's a good cliff here. This is a good cliff. Good cliff. And a lot of cliffs by the a lot of times you will see a lot of cliffs near the shore. Yeah, this is one very strong cliff, but it's not as bad as this one. This one is very cliff. How you see is that the more padat the lines, the contour lines is closer together and a lot of lines. That's a cliff. Why? Because if you zoom really close to this area, right? You go to this point where you zoom into the point whereby you see 50 meters and then contour intervals is 2 meters. Alright, so every between one line to the other line is 2 meters, right? So if they see 2 meters also, you will see already such a drop 2 meters to 2 meters. So let's say from this point here, I just give you a point. Tukar the thing back to dot. Okay, you see from this point here to the bottom point here, see that one point here to one point here, every line is 2 meters, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's about 11 meters itself straight down already. You get what I mean? Because there's 11 lines.
Times 2, right?
No, if you go really close, I count 11. If you go really close, that's 1 meter already. That's 20 meters. 20 meters, but the drop is every 1 meter per line.
From this line to this line is
Okay.
1 meter or 2 meter just now?
This line to this line, if it depends on where you scroll to. If you scroll really close, sampai besar, you see the contour interval is 1 meter.
My contour interval is only, it says here is 2 meters on the side.
Okay, if you scroll lagi, masuk lagi, can see 1 meter not?
Tak ada.
You
Until
maximum 2
2
meter je. How come I'm so special? I
Yeah.
can go all the way to 1 meter.
Maximum 2 meters.
I have 1 meter.
Yeah, I also got 1 meter. Don't tell me it depends on it depends on rendering. Wow. Mine can go to 1 meter, but okay lah. Let's stick with 2 meter lah. Okay, 2 meter means every line, this line to this line is 2 meter. The intervals. Okay.
Oh.
So from here to here, you tengok dia punya distance is 50 meters. From 50 meters, that means from one end to the other end is almost 20 meters. About, I would say from this dot to this dot is about 25 meters or so lah. This distance is 25 meters. Okay, this distance is 25 meters, but this distance to this distance 25 meters. The elevation of this to the elevation of this in 20 meters is almost as high as Just now I counted about 11-12 meters already. So in such a short span, it changes the elevation by 11 meters. You get what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So that means if you get a flat land, like let's say you go to Nida Sos on the east side, southeast side, Nida Sos, that whole this big town here, you see a lot of flat lands here. All right. So from this line to this line, dia punya distance is almost 100 meters, betul tak? Right? The distance is 100 meters, but from this one to this 100 meters, you have just dropped by 2 meters only in terms of elevation. So your elevation is like almost like flat lah, because 2 meter je. You turun by 2 meter for that 100 meters. But if you go back to that cliff in 20 meters only, not 100 meters, in 20 meters you have dropped almost 11 over meters already. That means it's a very steep slope already. Of course, the more padat it is, let's say you really zoom down to this area, northwest, okay, and if you zoom really close to, let's say, as close as possible as you can, you will notice this one, is like a straight drop. Right, compared to this one, this is a straight drop. So that's cliff. So next time, what happened is there was one time, one of our mission, our point man or navigator plot a course from one waypoint to another point. He actually plotted something that says, okay, from waypoint 1 here to waypoint 2, somewhere here. Okay, waypoint 1 here to waypoint 2 here. He asked us to go straight line. Voila, how to go? You know what I mean? So if you don't understand the map contours and you just plot a route for us, habis lah. There was one point where we hit there, we jalan, we hit a practically hit a wall, and we get nowhere else to go. We had to turn all the way back, and then wasted almost a kilometer of all that. I think it's about 500 meters worth of walk. I don't know if any one of you were in that mission with me. Yeah, and that's how you plot. So if once you understand contours and all that, so you know how to at least plot a decent waypoint or route using valleys or gentle slopes and what to end. And if you move to piloting, yes, pilot, you can you have a helicopter, you can climb and everything. But if you're in a helicopter, it's modeled in ARMA that sometimes when you reach a point here and you need to climb this hill, the helicopter will strain. That means you pull your throttle all the way to maximum, and the helicopter will suddenly climb in a very slow speed. It means you cannot move 100 kilometers. Suddenly it becomes 40 kilometers and the thing will climb slowly high. And in ARMA, it also helicopter flights or more on helicopter flights, not so much of planes. It also it was modeled also the elevation. There was one mission in one map that we played almost 1,000 elevation one. This one you see 90 lebih 100. There was one map, I can't remember what map. The elevation, the number here was 1,000 something. 1, 2 is like 4 numbers. So yeah, Pakistan. That's right. That map. Even though that map everything is around 1,000 over elevation, the helicopter macam lembek because it's taken into consideration the elevation and the how padat the air is. Helicopter cannot lift, and you add 6 people into the helicopter, the berat or the weight of the helicopter even made it even more harder to fly. That's why in Pakistan, the helicopter, the map of Pakistan, if you have a Chinook, okay, not so bad, because the Chinook, dia punya engine power is also modeled in boleh naik. But in the Little Bird, it was a failure. Every time we try to get to certain place, when we get hit by AA, the maneuver is teruk, we crash all the time because that elevation was 1,000 over, and Little Bird susah with 6 orang duduk sana. So yeah, in terms of navigation, in terms of understanding contours, it really is just not so simple. It's not such a. It's good knowledge, but it's not just say, okay, I know how to read contours, so what? But it helps you when you plan and route in different maps in different missions. Any questions so far? Did I miss anything? Okay, valley. You have a valley just now. Okay, Let me see if I can find another feature for you. Obviously, the other feature is that if you click on the top part where the options are, where you choose the color of your what you call it, your markers, as well as that, and then there's a far right next to the time, there's a time, right, 12 lebih and all that, the time there, 12:56 time. Next to it there's a certain you toggle max map, you put your cursor there, you see toggle map texture. Okay, you click one that has all the colors. Okay, the colors will tell you what you call almost like a satellite view lah. But if you really want to read contours, you click it into semua like putih, and there's some green patches. Now these patches tells you these are all other forests lah, other vegetations and all that. Whereas all the white colors one like here is all there's no vegetations. So when you talk about tree lines, okay, you sometimes you hear people run to the tree line. So let's say you start from, if you can come down to navigation area, LZ black, okay, go to LZ black, take out LZ black, and let's say you need to run to the tree line on the west where I've marked this area here. Tree line means at the edge of where the forests are. This is the tree lines. Okay, so sometimes if you guys are open, you will hear your what you call that, your SL, your PL say get to the tree line west, then we just run towards this side. Okay, tree line west. Sometimes you would have a route that actually ends up here. Wait, I'll show you. Okay, see the X, LZ black southwest. Okay, you stop at one tree line. So let's say everyone jalan here, and then you stop at tree line. You probably say, okay, we have reached a tree line, and what's next order? And then there you hear PL or SL to tell you run to the next tree line, then you lari to the next tree line. So one by one. Usually sometimes one tree line to one tree line is one person here, one squad will run first, then stop here, and then pusing balik and cover the next squad to cross that open space. Obviously this is not a good open space because this is a very steep slope lah. But let's say something like from here to here on the west east side of just now that place, then here to here you get a good. This is just for explanation purpose. But if you ask me, is this a good place to cross like that? No, because this is a very steep slope. It won't be so easy to cross. You can, but it's not as easy. Okay. Okay. Now what else? Okay. Now that you know contours, you know the forest, tree lines, the color, everything. Features on the map. The map is in ARMA is really good in terms of the detail of it. You can literally see power lines, you can see towns, you can see houses. So if you scroll really close, let's see if I can show you. You go, okay, scroll out again, go back to Sofia, which is southeast, almost 20 clicks. Yes, Sofia there. You scroll out, Sofia. Do you see this? And scroll into Sofia. Okay, Sofia, you see a lot of boxes. These are all little buildings that you can see, and then this obviously there are churches, and I believe if there's a church around this area, chances this will be a cemetery. Chances are. You have another big church here. Okay, and then if you look southeast, that's a power. Yes, that line are power lines. Okay, so there's power lines here. Why it's good is because sometimes in Sofia, right, a good way to use this is like if you're under attack, very quickly you say run east towards the power line. So let's just run east towards the power line, because power line, when you know there's a power line here, from here you just go out, you can look for visual reference already, and you can see the visual reference is not too far. Power line, if it's a huge power lines, you boleh nampak dia punya pylons and all that, then you just run towards the power lines and then regroup somewhere here. Obviously you go northwest of the military base, you would see towers. These are towers. Okay, so you know military base dalam tu ada towers, And then obviously at the military base, these are rock formations. Doesn't mean it's a mountain. It looks like a mountain, but it's not a mountain, because mountains are this one. These are hills and mountains, okay? These are rock formations. That means they are it doesn't have to be big. Sometimes it's very good for, this is good for cover. That means cover and concealment is two different things. Concealment means you can go into a tree line here, north east of it. You can go into tree line and you'll be in concealment. That means concealment tersembunyi. But this one would be very good for covers. That means it's almost like peluru pun tak boleh kena lah. So this is called, let's run to the rocks. Let's say you're in a military center here. Let's run east to the rock covers over to the east. Then you run to the rock covers here. You know this is rock cover. So that's how you read maps. There are also power lines. There are also windmills. I can't find a windmill here. I think windmill is on. If you look at it, if you were to, let's see if I can find here. Boleh. You go, okay. You scroll out, way down, slightly.
Yang paling atas ada dekat
Ada ke?
northeast cat Stringle.
Northeast. Mana ini?
Singla.
This
Yes.
one. Okay.
Yeah.
This is not. This is a lighthouse.
Oh.
That's a
You were
lighthouse.
looking for windmill.
You want to look for windmill, you tengok macam, okay, tadi where the Sofia is, go back to where Sofia is, right? Okay. If you were to go east, direct east into the shore and then keluar sikit into the shoreline, do you see this one?
Apa ni?
I think I believe that is the windmill. Chances are. Because windmill is, I'm not sure whether this is windmill or not, but yeah, usually windmill you see like a row of stuff like that, right? So this one I'm not sure in the laut ada windmill, I'm not sure lah, but yeah, let me see if I can find a good. This is a power plant, right? You see
What's
this?
that?
Power plant. Macam you pergi tempat ni, you will notice there are transformers and all that.
So this signifies a power plant.
Windmill, you can go to Nafia Bay,
Mana?
south of Opiayan.
South of
Opiayan.
OP Iron. Okay, you go back to the main base. Keluar. The map.
There's a lot of windmill there.
Sini here. Okay, you go to where the artillery mortar here. You nampak tak? Okay, zoom inside there. Zoom there. You nampak ni?
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's a windmill. Actually, the one out there is not windmill. This is windmill.
Oh, this one is like a fan. Okay.
These are windmill. So when you look at map, windmills and all that are usually on the top of the hill, 240 over meters above sea level. And you go further west, you see a very big windmill here. Nampak tak? This is huge line of windmills. So yeah, windmills are good for references because from far so you boleh nampak and all that. Go back to LZ Black again. Okay. Any questions so far for contours? If you zoom out even further, let's say zoom out to 500 meters, kat bawah tu the interval at the map range, zoom out to 500 meters, your contours will become more lesser already, not so detailed. So at the detail part, you can see this is a big on the north side of navigation area. This is a nice peak area. This is a peak area. This is a peak area. So you know lah, as you go out, you can see more easier to go. Then you go detail planning, you zoom right into it. All right. So now that is basic map features and visuals. Any more questions? I think it's quite simple. I'm trying to keep it to 1+ hour only. In terms of route planning, how to use your GPS, how to use your micro dagger, I will save that to another topic, more advanced topic. But this is general, mainly for the newcomers and the people who just joined and have not really understand how to play or how to read the maps. These are good stuff.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
No questions. Now, what I want you to do is that try to help me also that ada banyak orang baru masuk ARMA ke apa, then you guys are considered train the trainer. You guys are more or less certified as how to read basic navigations and map reading and using your compass already, without any help of GPS and all that. If I would to, okay, right now what I'll do is I'll do the next topic, which is casualty recovery. Casualty recovery is quite simple, only it won't be too long. It's ACE. We use casualty recovery using ACE, because in vanilla you can't do it. Only in ACE you'll be able to carry and drag. So next topic is to do this. First thing, I just want you to know a few key things that you need to know before you recover anybody. Number one, most of the time casualty recover is because you are in an engagement, a full out engagement. Now if you're in a full out engagement, what happens is your stealth blown already. There's no need to use radios. You can start shouting. You don't have to go into radio communications. You can go into radio communications, but if let's say it's just next to each other and all that, the thing is that try not to use the radio all the time, because every time you start shouting, you jam up the frequency for leadership or even like your SL or PL to give orders through that. In terms of recovery, use voice. Don't always use the radio unless you are too far. But if you're not far, like us sitting around here, somebody who's probably about 50 meters in that direction, right? 50 meters that side there, you can see that guy on the ground. Use yelling, or just scream into your mic. Don't use the radio. So then you can say, yeah, someone over there, at if you take your thing at west, 50 meters west, someone's down. You just shout only. First thing after that is that if the person is down there and you are still in fire, protect yourself first. That's the thing. Well, before even you pop smoke, right? Return fire. Before even you pop smoke, return fire where it is. You start suppressing the person, and then get to cover. Make sure you get to cover. And when you are behind covers, everything all steady, then and everything is already stabilized, at least you are in control already, then coordinate yourself and say, we have one guy west 50 meters, another guy 20 meters east. Then you know where they are, then coordinate, then you pop smoke before running to get him. Pop smoke only before you run to get it. Don't pop smoke immediately or whatever, right? Because one is that you pop smoke where you are right now, you lose sight of where you need to go yourself, because you have not seen where is the cover and all that. Tiba-tiba everything is smoke. Then unless and otherwise really habis, it's almost like emergency, you got nowhere to go, last resort you just pop smoke where you are lah. Then try to confuse yourself and confuse the enemy better than getting killed, right? But don't forget, which most people always do under fire, because your stress level now, you are panicking, and somewhere down the line you just want to save your friend. You run to him and then you try to drag him and you try to carry him, you kena tembak also. The funny thing about this is that in ACE, when you start to carry or drag somebody, especially carry, when you click carry, you are committed to carry now. Tak boleh drop halfway punya now. So sometimes when you carry in ACE, it takes at least a good 3 to 4 seconds to put the person in position, carry his hands, put it over your shoulder, and you cannot get out of that procedure already. And you are getting fired. Let's say someone is shooting at you, you are stuck there trying to carry the person, you tak boleh lari, and then someone will shoot you. Okay, so that's why a lot of times the mistake is that I see people rush immediately to carry somebody. No, that person will be able to live another at least 4 minutes lah. Even though it's very very bad, you should at least 4 minutes, unless you are the third time, fourth time kena hit under KB punya medical system. The third time one headshot you sudah mati, you don't even need to recover anymore. Okay, don't bother trying to recover a dead person. Okay, so first thing is coordinate and make sure keep calm and find cover. And find cover, coordinate yourself. After you coordinate yourself, yeah. And some of the games when you're on ground, the Russian literally walk to your body and shoot you a few more times in the head. It happens. That one is interesting in the AI. It's kejam punya AI, I don't know. Kena possess punya. So, yep. Find cover, coordinate yourself, oriented, get your situation awareness proper, then call out to people. We have people down where, how far they are, and then pop smoke. If you can, when you pop smoke, somebody lay down suppressive fire while the other person runs to the person to collect. If you have more than 2 person. If you are alone, pop smoke, shoot a few times, and when you shoot a few times, you suppress the enemy. AI enemy will duck and they will go prone. So when they duck and go prone, you have suppressed the enemy. That's when you run across, pick up your guy. To pick up a guy, what in ACE is that you have to press your your self interact, okay, and apa tu mengumpat mi ah? What is mengumpat ah? Kabe send me a message. Oh, mengumpat mi ah. Apa mengumpat? He said, complain lah. Oh,
Behind your back lah.
oh, he's watching. Is he watching my
stream?
I tak
He's watching your stream.
I tak mengumpat. I actually say Kabe punya
Example.
medical sense example, which is a good thing, which makes sense. It's realistic. Cilaka, never go and text me. Okay, now if you want to pick up, press your self interact, okay, which is actually your, I think it's control windows. Betul tak?
Yep.
Everyone is the same, right? Control window at the how you say, at the you go to the person that's down, face the person, press control windows. There will be a menu that comes up, interaction there. There will be a menu that comes out. The menu there usually will say carry or drag. Click on that, then Kabe forgives me and let me pass. Cilaka. Okay, then you can carry the person, and then when you carry the person, you run back to where the cover is. We will demonstrate that later. One thing to note, if you yourself is hurt, that means in your own medical, you check that you punya kaki ke, or you are limping, or you are literally, if you're hurt, you cannot carry the person. You run there and you are hurt, you try to find carry, dia tak ada keluar punya. Because you yourself hurt, you cannot carry. I think you can drag, but you cannot carry. Okay, drag, same thing. You be able to drag the person, and then you walk backwards, and then you can drop the person where it's. So what you do is carry the person or drag the person to cover. Now, what you do is you take him to cover, then you figure out where is the aid station, or you can call the medic or whatever. Okay. So don't forget, under fire, these are the few things that you have to remember. Any questions before we actually do an actual demo and let you try? Any questions?
Can we smoke the center of that person?
Say again slowly. I think your mic a little too close. You can hear mumblings.
Sorry. Can we smoke the person that wounded?
Smoke the person that's wounded. What do you mean?
Meaning throw smoke at him lah.
Yes, you boleh. You can. Okay. First of all, where the fire is coming from, try to throw the smoke to the area where you basically is to block the enemy's vision to you. But when you go to the person that is what you call that is down, yes, you can throw the smoke at that person also. It's also good because then the enemy gets confused where exactly you are lah. But as long as you don't overthrow until you yourself cannot see the person, but just throw slightly off the person, not not on his body or anything, so at least you can see the person yourself. You yourself get confused kat mana dia. Alright.
Gadget Manson. Okay, I just have I just kind of remember something lah. For dragging also, if you are injured on the legs, you can't actually move.
Yeah, you
boleh.
tak boleh.
Yeah.
So in
yeah,
other words,
certain-
simple thing. If you are injured yourself, unfortunately, you cannot save your friend.
Yep. And then for throwing smokes, yes, it's a first thing you have to do before you move to recover your friends. But in certain cases, I noticed we have to check the wind direction first.
Yes.
Because if we throw a smoke directly to, maybe we saw an enemy direct front of us, and we throw the smoke directly in front of us, we thought we thought it's a bloom there, but actually because of the wind, it only blows to the side, and you are still in the open.
Yep.
So wind speed to have to
So
check lah,
if
and
the
the wind
winds,
direction.
well, if you throw one smoke already and you see the smoke is like almost flat, and it's going in one direction, all right. When it's when it goes down and then it goes flat, you know it's very high wind already. Don't waste any more smoke lah. No point already. Okay.
What I
shift K.
what I
you
did
can,
normally
yes, you can do
is
shift K.
and I check the wind direction and speed first.
Speed is the berapa, how many dots you have. One dot means
Yes.
very slow. If three dots means very heavy wind. If
think
for
each
those,
dot is fine.
say again.
I thought each dot is about 5 or 10 knots. I'm not sure lah for ARMA.
I don't know the. Yeah, I think got to read that up. I no idea. Anyone knows? Haris or anybody?
For aviation, I
I
know
was told
1.
5 knots.
5 knots
5
per
knots.
dot lah.
Yeah, supposedly.
So it's equivalent to one small line lah. Because in aviation, one small line is 5 knots. Long one is 10. Lele.
Okay, so for those who right now who wants to try, just press Shift K. You see Shift K sekarang is kosong, one big circle kan?
Yes.
Yep.
No wind. Everything is dead right now. If there's no wind, Kabe says if you're close to structure. Now you press Shift K. Yeah, this one Zeus letak lah. So low. Okay, now you see the wind. You see that now no wind, kosong. If you press wind means the direction of where the wind is coming. That means the arrow, if it's pointing down to, if the arrow is pointing down to 7 o'clock, right? If the wind is the arrow is pointing to 7 o'clock, means the wind is coming from 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock.
Yep.
Okay. Any more questions from that? Okay, no questions. Who wants to demo? Haris, can I shoot you in your ball?
Yeah.
Okay, I think let me go and change to.
May I shoot him?
Okay, siapa yang
Either
pernah
show me the balls or give me
who
points.
who has medic experience?
I have.
Manson, go to this big box.
Yep.
Choose a medic role.
Roger that.
You need to help me revive Haris after I shoot him.
Roger that.
I won't kill Haris. I will probably get him to.
Ni tak boleh.
Okay, where the hell is Haris? Did he hide?
Haris is somewhere here.
Salib ada.
Dia melarikan diri. Tu dia.
Mana? There he go.
Eh,
There is. Okay,
Right.
gather around me.
Dah mati lah.
Hey, someone! The hell?
No one shot him.
Zeus. Is it?
Zeus. Yeah, I think it's Zeus.
Okay.
Oh, kaki dia.
Thanks, MK.
Okay, wait. Let's see if this works. Even though you are not dead.
To simulate wah.
Can. You
Okay.
can drag
So he's still up. Okay, he's still up. Okay. He doesn't have to be down, but you can carry him. Okay. So let's see. Who wants to try first? Crane. Let's see you try. Okay.
Yeah, because menu tak ada
Interact with him.
Oh, as interact je. Okay, copy.
Go down. Kneel down, and then look at Ace interact him. That means press your Control and your Windows. You would see carry, and then move your mouse to carry, and then carry him. Boleh tak?
Tunduk sikit crane kalau jauh.
You can
Kena melutut.
kneel.
Aim at the torso.
Elok pakai first person, jangan pakai third person.
First person ke?
First person, aim kat torso.
First person.
Go first person lagi senang. Lepas tu Ace interact. Ace interact, cari interaction. Ada tak?
Dekat celah-celah pinggang.
Got it? Tak boleh.
Ada action je ni.
Acceleration.
No,
Nah,
jangan pakai
Rudder,
control
dia
Windows. Kekal Windows saja.
Windows saja.
Windows.
Windows je.
Windows aim dekat body
Dah,
dia.
yang lain
Ah,
yang lain
dah,
lari.
dah. Okay.
Yes.
Yang lain lari
Jangan
jauh
risau,
sebab
tekan
kalau tak
Windows
banyak
tu.
sangat
Oh,
menu
Windows,
keluar.
not control Windows. Sorry, that one is self-interact. So,
Jangan risau tekan Windows tu, dia takkan keluar daripada game ni.
Jangan gerak kalau masa kau tengah angkat tu, jangan gerak.
Oh.
Kalau dia bug and Haris akan spawn.
okay.
kat-
Now you are up. Try jalan sikit and move towards the. There. This is how you carry the person to safety. Jalan, Crane. Continue to move.
Yes, sir.
Boleh move? That's how you run.
Boleh.
Okay? Boleh ya? Now then after that stop and then self-interact. There's a mouse screen lah. The mouse ada interaction kat
Left
sana.
click.
Yeah, release. Left click.
Release. Okay. Now I want you to try dragging him. Crane drag him also.
Okay, kalau boleh kan, bila someone nak try drag atau pick up the injured person, ada person jangan pergi dekat sebab bila dia buka interact menu, banyak sangat menu keluar.
You get interaction for other people. So
Ah,
try
ah.
dragging.
Let them partner up then
Try
tukar carry kan. Yeah.
Just try this first now, and then after Crane you drag already, then you partner you guys.
Dapat tak Crane?
Actually, can you
Tengah cari dekat dia punya ni. Pinggang.
carry and drag
Kalau
someone who's
kaki dia
not hurt?
patah pun dah boleh tarik dah sebenarnya.
Yes, dah boleh dah. Okay, drag.
Oi,
Kau bergerak. Jangan bergerak masa dia angkat
jangan-
tu.
Bagi dia finish dia punya
Animation dulu.
apa tu? Kat atas tu ada satu line kan, dia akan habiskan dulu.
Jangan gerak.
Bagi dia habis tu line. Bila
Okay,
habis
bila dah
already,
pun tarik.
yes. This is how you drag the person. Okay. Can drop him now. Okay. And
Dah.
Haris is up. Okay, the difference between carry and drag. Carry you notice dia punya commitment to carry tu lama, but you can run faster. You can move him faster, but to carry it takes a longer time. So in engagement yang quite hot, you will drag him because the dragging punya interaction is shorter. So you need to get out of the place. But unfortunately dia punya downfall is when you drag, your movement to the cover is slower. So this is where your discretion lah. If you're under fire, I suggest you drag even though it's slow. But if you have the time and you need to go very far and and someone is suppressing you, then you carry, then you can lari very far. Okay, so let's let you guys tell you what, I think that is the end of the actual bootcamp to teach you how to do carry.
lagi satu. Nak makan passion dalam kereta.
Nak apa?
Masukkan
Load-
kalau contoh ada
load
orang
patient and
pengsan.
unload.
Yes.
Macam H&M tu.
Okay. Okay, thanks Richard for let's do that. Let's go here.
Gadget.
Yep.
Tanya, masa kita drag ataupun carry, sebenarnya kita defend less lah, kan?
Yes.
Ada-
Betul. But the person on that's dragging boleh tembak tak? I'm not sure.
I think the
Boleh
dragging punya
sebenarnya.
boleh.
Yes.
The dragger can let.
The person kena drag pun dia boleh tembak.
Oh.
Bila carry tak boleh. But whereas the carrier or the dragger, you tak boleh because you punya both your hands are too busy, you tak boleh do anything. But dragging, the person that is being dragged boleh tembak. But I believe you boleh tembak you punya pistol saja. Kalau you tak ada pistol tak boleh. Of course the carry part, the person being carried and the carrier both cannot tembak already.
Bukan apa, masa kalau kita ada teammate, tak apa, dia boleh cover kan?
Boleh.
Kalau
Then-
kita dengan apa yang down tu je, payah sikit lah nak defend.
Betul. Kalau ada dua orang saja, you are the carrier, at least the person boleh at least buat some, but tapi dia boleh guna pistol sajalah, better than nothing lah. Okay.
Oh, okay, copy that.
Okay, let's go to the
Ni tepi ni.
come here. Now same thing. Haris has to be down again.
Zeus nak buat ke atau nak saya buatkan?
No. For this one, better not is player. Yeah, aku buat AI.
Yep.
Because once he's inside, there's no way to
Get him out.
for me to get him out unless boleh lah, you guys get him out. Boleh.
Boleh. But you cannot. But can you knock Aris out? Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
belum lagi. Okay, Mak.
Same
okay,
thing.
Mak.
When you go, let me see. Don't pick him up. Okay, go down
Rasanya
there.
belum lagi ni, belum lagi.
Belum.
Okay, now dah.
Dia. Ya.
Okay,
Sekarang
jangan.
dah.
Sekejap let me double check. Okay, this one sama. You pergi dia punya torso, and then what you do is instead of carry or drag, you tengok load. Choose load, and then load ada lagi satu keluar dia punya vehicle punya nama. So when you do that, you will load him there. Okay. To take out, unload sama. Go to the vehicle sini, interact. You will see the interaction. You will say passenger. Passenger, you go to dia punya nama you want to unload. That's what you do. Understand? Okay, you guys try. What we'll do is crane. You try first just now, so you can have full, and then after crane habis, then I will break you to groups. Then I will end the course officially, and then I'll leave it on. You guys practice on each other. Okay, crane.
Sir.
Unload. Press the interaction.
Interaction ada kat tabla kereta.
Interaction to the vehicle.
Vehicle
Vehicle
Go to
interaction.
vehicle, interact with the vehicle, then press apa ni? Go to passenger.
Pergi passenger, pergi ke nama dia, lepas tu antara unload atau tak.
There you go. That's it. That's how you unload. Load sama. Load is different. Load, you go to the person, you interact the person, it will say load. Then when the load come, it will tell you load which vehicle. Then you choose that vehicle, dia akan masuk ke vehicle. All clear?
Copy, sir.
Okay. Thank you. All clear. I will officially end, and you guys are all considered as certified for topic 26, 27, I believe, under navigation and casualty recovery basic. So thank you for coming. And from here I'll end, but we'll leave it to you to pair to each other and do practical. Okay? Before that, any question tak? Ada apa-apa dah mau tanya tak?
I got a problem with my something with the control window thing.
Self-interact. Okay.
Yeah.
Self-interact means if you interact yourself, that means check your own health, everything, you press control Windows, left control, and then the button next to it is the window button. Then you will see a list. That one is self-interaction. That means interact on yourself. You have your equipment, you have your own medical, you have how to, medical menu that you cure yourself. But there's an interaction button. That means you interact with vehicles, interact with other people. You just press the Windows button only. But to press the Windows button, you got to go to that person or the vehicle, or even to the an object. Keep the Windows pressed down. There will be a icon that says interaction. Move your mouse to the interaction,
Pergi sana.
and then from the interaction, you will have a choices of what to do. Be it load, carry, drag, or even the person's medical. That's how you actually stabilize his medical. So that is the interaction button, which is the window.
Okay. But it doesn't do anything when I press it.
You have to go, not now. You have to go to, if you press it right now without anything, you won't see it. But you have to go close to the object. You have to go close to the object, be it a person or the vehicle. Then right now you press, nothing will come out. You go to, let's say, go to Haris. If you try, go to Haris right now. Okay, kneel down and go to his torso, and you press interaction now. You will see interaction on Haris. There's some sort of a icon on Haris. Can you get it? Go.
Ada Haris yang hidup tu. Haris hidup tu.
Kalau hidup boleh check medical pun tak apa.
Medical menu tak ada. Boleh nampak
Medical
plus arrow tu lah macam
interaction je.
Yes, interaction. Move there. Continue press. You will see.
dah ada pass magazine tu Haris.
Yeah, you can have a whole bunch of stuff. You can do that. That's the interaction. Okay.
Okay.
Any more questions? Okay. Kalau tak ada questions, break up to group. Let's say Mansun, can you take bear? Rumpel, you and Salib is AFK. Rampel, you and Zambros. Crane is AFK.
Ada apa cuma morfin.
Jahat tol.
Richard, you dengan
shit.
Richard, you dengan Haris lah.
Copy.
Okay. Okay, I will stop streaming here and I will stop the recording. Thank you again.
Wendy.